b3. This move was inaccurate, the best move was e4. For example, e4, e5, knight f3. With a balanced game. Hello player, today we will analyze the match between Hi Nakamura with the white pieces and M Carlsen with the black pieces. b3. Knight f6. Bishop b2. g6. Knight f3. Bishop g7. e3. Kingside castling. d4. c5. d. Captures on c5. Queen a5 check. c3. Queen c7. b4. b6. c. Captures on b6. a. Captures on b6. c4. Bishop b7. Knight from b, d2. Rook d8. This move was inaccurate, the best move was bishop captures on f3. For example, bishop captures on f3. Knight captures on f3. d5. Queen b3. Rook c8. Knight d2. Queen c6. With an advantage for white. Rook d8. a3. Knight c6. Rook c1. d6. Queen b3. Knight e5. Bishop e2. Bishop c6. Kingside castling. Bishop a4. Queen a2. Knight from e, d7. This move was inaccurate, the best move was knight captures on f3. For example, knight captures on f3 check. Bishop captures on f3. Bishop c6. h3. Queen b7. With an advantage for white. Knight from e, d7. Knight d4. Rook from d, c8. Knight b1. Knight e5. Knight c3. Bishop d7. Knight d5. Queen d8. Queen b3. h5. Knight captures on f6 check. Bishop captures on f6. Knight b5. This move was inaccurate, the best move was b5. For example, b5. Rook c5. f4. With a decisive advantage for white. Knight b5. Bishop e6. This move was inaccurate, the best move was rook captures on c4. For example, rook captures on c4. Bishop captures on c4. Knight captures on c4. Queen captures on c4. Bishop captures on b2. Rook b1. Bishop e5. With a decisive advantage for white. Bishop e6. Knight d4. Bishop d7. f4. This move was inaccurate, the best move was b5. For example, b5. Queen f8. f4. With a decisive advantage for white. f4. Knight g4. h3. Knight h6. Bishop f3. Bishop a4. The evaluation became 3.4, this was a serious mistake, the best move was rook a7. For example, rook a7. b5. Knight f5. With a decisive advantage for white. Bishop a4. Queen d3. Rook a7. b5. Knight f5. g4. This move gives back part of the advantage, the best move was knight c6. For example, knight c6. Rook captures on c6. Bishop captures on f6. Rook c5. Bishop b2. With a decisive advantage for white. g4. h. Captures on g4. H captures on G4. Knight captures on D4. Bishop captures on D4. E5. Bishop C3. This move gives back part of the advantage. The best move was F captures on E5. For example, F captures on E5. Bishop captures on E5. Rook F2. With a decisive advantage for white. Bishop C3. E captures on F4. E captures on F4. Bishop captures on C3. Rook captures on C3. Queen F6. Bishop C6. This move gives back part of the advantage. The best move was F5. For example, F5. Rook C5. Bishop D5. G5. Rook from C, C1. Rook E7. Rook from F, E1. Rook from C, C7. Queen D2. With a decisive advantage for white. Bishop C6. Rook E7. This move was inaccurate. The best move was rook captures on C6. For example, rook captures on C6. B captures on C6. Bishop captures on C6. G5. Queen H8. Queen H3. Queen D4 check. Queen E3. Queen H8. Rook D3. Queen H1 check. King F2. Queen G2 check. King E1. Rook A8. Queen F2. Queen G4. King D2. B5. F5. B captures on C4. Rook G3. Queen captures on F5. Queen captures on F5. G captures on F5. Rook captures on F5. Bishop E4. Rook F4. Bishop D3. Rook from G, F3. Rook A7. With a balanced game. Rook E7. Queen D2. This move was inaccurate. The best move was G5. For example, G5. Queen H8. Bishop D5. Queen G7. F5. With a decisive advantage for white. Queen D2. Rook E2. This move was inaccurate. The best move was rook captures on C6. For example, rook captures on C6. B captures on C6. Bishop captures on C6. Rook H3. Queen E6. Queen D1. Queen captures on C4. Queen A1. F6. Queen C3. Queen E4. Rook H2. Rook H7. With a balanced game. Rook E2. For example, Queen captures on E2. Queen captures on C3. F5. Bishop C2. F6. Queen G3 check. Queen G2. Queen C3. Queen E2. Queen G3 check. Queen G2. Queen C3. Bishop D5. Queen D4 check. Rook F2. Rook B8. Queen F3. With a decisive advantage for white. Queen captures on E2. Queen captures on C3. Rook F3. This move was inaccurate. The best move was F5. For example, F5. Bishop C2. F6. Queen D4 check. King G2. Bishop B3. Rook C1. Queen captures on F6. Bishop D5. Queen F4. Rook C3. Bishop A4. Queen F3. Queen captures on F3 check. Rook captures on F3. Rook c7. King f2. With a decisive advantage for white. Rook f3. Queen d4 check. King h2. This move was inaccurate, the best move was rook e3. For example, rook e3. g5. Queen d3. Queen a1 check. Queen f1. Queen d4. Queen d3. Queen captures on f4. Rook e4. Queen c1 check. King f2. Queen b2 check. Rook e2. Queen f6 check. Queen f5. Queen captures on f5 check. G captures on f5. Bishop b3. Rook d2. King g7. Rook captures on d6. With an advantage for white. King h2. Bishop d1. Queen e3. Queen captures on c4. Rook g3. King g7. King g1. Rook h8. g5. Rook h4. Queen c3 check. Queen captures on c3. Rook captures on c3. Rook captures on f4. Rook d3. Bishop a4. Rook captures on d6. The evaluation became -2.2, this was a serious mistake, the best move was bishop d7. For example, bishop d7. Rook c4. Rook captures on d6. Rook c1 check. King f2. With a balanced game. Rook captures on d6. Rook g4 check. Bishop g2. Rook captures on g5. Rook captures on b6. Bishop captures on b5. King f2. Bishop d7. This move was inaccurate, the best move was bishop e8. For example, bishop e8. Rook b8. Bishop a4. With a decisive advantage for black. Bishop d7. Rook b7. Bishop e6. This move gives back part of the advantage, the best move was rook captures on g2. For example, rook captures on g2 check. King e3. Bishop a4. Rook a7. Rook g3 check. With a decisive advantage for black. Bishop e6. Rook a7. Rook c5. This move was inaccurate, the best move was rook f5. For example, rook f5 check. King g3. Bishop d5. With a decisive advantage for black. Rook c5. f4. This move was inaccurate, the best move was king e3. For example, king e3. King f6. King d4. With a decisive advantage for black. f4. Rook c2 check. King g3. Rook a2. This move was inaccurate, the best move was king h6. For example, king h6. Rook a6. King g5. Rook d6. Rook a2. With a decisive advantage for black. Rook a2. f5. The evaluation became -3.9, this move was a mistake, the best move was bishop b7. For example, bishop b7. King f6. Rook a5. With a decisive advantage for black. f5. Rook a3 check. This move was inaccurate, the best move was king f6. For example, king f6. Bishop f1. g5. With a decisive advantage for black. Rook a3 check. King f2. This move was inaccurate, the best move was king f2. For example, King f2. King f6. a6. With a decisive advantage for black. King f2. g5. This move was inaccurate, the best move was king f6. For example, king f6. a6. Rook a2 check. King f1. Bishop c4 check. With a decisive advantage for black. g5. Bishop c6. g4. This move was inaccurate, the best move was king f6. For example, king f6. a6. g4. With a decisive advantage for black. g4. a6. This move was inaccurate, the best move was rook a6. For example, rook a6. f5. King g2. With a decisive advantage for black. a6. King f6. Rook a8. King e5. Bishop b7. King f4. Rook f8. g3 check. King e2. f5. Rook f6. Bishop c4 check. King d2. Bishop captures on a6. Black's victory. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and leave your suggestions.